What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget, you can watch our episodes on the Sauceless Entertainment YouTube channel. You can also listen to our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just type in Geek Out Room podcast in the search engine, and you should find us. There was so many free photo ops out there, which was so cool. And one thing that was super cool to see was the Star Wars. There was like this basically this space kind of near the front where it was just like a Star Wars. It was like an alleyway of just Star Wars stuff. It was like a bunch of 2x4s, like just a really well crafted set. And you could take these pictures with these cosplayers that were dressed up as like bounty hunters and Mandalorians and working for the Empire and all this stuff. And it was super cool. They were very nice. They had a table where you could like get information from them on how they built the sets, how long it took. They were very kind and patient with that. And again, it led to some amazing photo ops. I know there was a station for Ghostbusters. There was a station for Back to the Future, and there was like this Victorian, almost like a Victorian steampunk like setup. And we actually interviewed them, so that will be on the channel throughout the week as well. There's a lot of interviews we did with artists and some stuff, so that will be just takes time to edit, but it will be definitely on the channel, on the YouTube channel, Sauceless Entertainment. So let's get right into Fan Expo Boston. Man, this was a phenomenal event. First things first, they had so many celebrities. I mean, from John Boyega to Hayden Christensen to Ewan McGregor to Michaela Joe Murphy, Todd Habercorn. I mean, the list goes on. They had so many artists, man. Artist Alley was really, really, really cool. But one thing I want to highlight before anything else, the crew members that were working this weekend were phenomenal. They were on their A game. I've been to a lot of cons in the United States and abroad, and this was probably the most well staffed and well knowledgeable staffed for a nerdy event like this. They were very cool. Even when fans were in line, especially these long ass lines, sometimes for these autographs, they were interacting with fans, joking around with them, talking to them, just helping the time go by. And it was just an amazing experience to see. So I hope they got their due this weekend. But just in case, I just want to again, hats off to the crew. Very well ran event, very knowledgeable crew, very fun to be around. They just radiated energy, helped keep the energy and maintain the energy throughout the whole entire weekend, which is not an easy task. So shout out to them. So besides the autographs, the celebrities were really cool. I was able to make some custom trading cards that I was able to hand out to certain celebrities I always want to talk to and stuff like that. I didn't even bother with like Hayden Christensen and them because I already knew how like Hayden Christensen, no matter where he goes, his line's gonna be ridiculous. God bless him. God bless him. Yeah, but I just can't. Hopefully, I meet him out in the wild someday. But I cannot do it at a convention. There's just no way. But I was able to give some cards to like Todd Habercorn, Michaela Jill Murphy, and so many other artists. What was so cool, dude? I got to meet Kurt Angle. Meeting Kurt Angle was what, because I didn't even know he was going to be there. And it was like 5 minutes before he was going to leave for the entire weekend because he was only there for Friday. He was so gracious with his time. He offered to take a free picture with us, which was amazing. And we got to talk to him about how much he meant to us, especially growing up, copying his movesets, all these stuff, playing as him on SmackDown versus Raw, and all this stuff. So, like, it was a really, really genuinely cool experience. And also, again, it was really cool to hand out these custom cards to a lot of these people that I grew up watching, or I admire their craft and how they do, or they're a big inspiration on me creatively throughout my journey here. So it was really cool to be able to do that. And again, covering the event, man, it was just the cosplays were on point, dude. The whole weekend, there were so many phenomenal cosplays, whether it was something from Silent Hill or from Arcane, which, I'm a huge Arcane fan. The show is amazing on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go see it. So many cool cosplays. I mean, there's some Fantastic Four cosplays already. There were a cosplay from Little Nightmares. If you're familiar with the channel, that's the one game I just recently played before starting Mafia Old Country. And it was really cool to see people in the Little Nightmares cosplay. So that was cool. It was just a great, very, very shortly, very, very soon. But yeah, it was super cool to see all these different sets and really get into the mind of the people who create it, who love it, who help the community and build the community up in different ways. So it was really cool to see that and get to know them. The panels were really cool, really informative. The energy was really there, and the major main panel area was super cool because it was massive and the stage was great, and the celebrities there had great energy. The fans had great questions. It was a great, really great back and forths. It was just a really cool time, and I really do appreciate when you have a convention that knows what it is and can deliver at such a high level. Like I said, I haven't been to every single Fan Expo event, but I know that Philly was pretty good. It was like really good. But Boston is definitely taking the cake for me in terms of fan expos and just conventions in general. Like Fan Expo Boston is up there to me with like a New York Comic Con, Anime NYC. It's just the time of year. Sometimes, when you have, or at least at one point, it used to be like when the fall came and you had not Anime NYC, you had New York Comic Con. A lot of the CW shows, like the high CW shows, that'll be the time they kind of do the upfronts and they kind of do like the preview into the new season, the trailers and stuff like that. So you would have those, and that kind of what also helps elevate the immensity that is the New York Comic Con or like San Diego Comic Con, for example, right? So Fans of Boston is a situation where if you can't make those two big conventions for cost reasons or just time availability, the Fan Expo circuit is really well. It's a really good substitute because it stops at multiple cities. So like Fan Expo Boston was last weekend. I think next weekend is Fan Expo Chicago, or the weekend after is Fan Expo Chicago. So, and I know they go to also Dallas, I think New Orleans as well. So there are some cities, man, it goes to. And it's a really phenomenal time, very phenomenal job. And I just have to give it to them. I thought that it was really fun to be able to go to an event like this and share time with people. And again, Artist Alley was dope. They had a place where you can play video games at. That was cool. Something also that I haven't seen before is that at the cosplay meetups, because we went to the Fairy Tale cosplay meetup, they had a dedicated DJ that would play the music of whatever anime or show or movie the meetup was from. So that was really cool. So like when the Fairy Tale meetup happened on Sunday, the DJ started playing like the soundtrack from Fairy Tale. It helped the mood. Like it was a great, like, it's just those little details to me that makes a convention so great. It's those little details that sometimes that other convention leaders would not do, or not go the extra mile, or not put a little bit more money here and there to do that. And not that it would per se make or break, you never know, but like it can only enhance the experience, and it did. You when you have a budget and you use it wisely and pour it into making sure it's an overall fun experience for all ages, especially for a convention like this, that's when you win. And Fan Expo Boston has definitely won this weekend. And again, I met so many great artists and so many great people. I'm excited to not only get them on the podcast in the future, but also I interviewed them, so it's cool. It'll definitely be cool to get those interviews up in their entirety throughout the week, because there is quite a few, and I'm really excited to share them with you. But what you really want to know, the rating. And the rating for Fan Expo Boston is that it is worthy of using your PTO. Use that PTO, schedule for this thing, plan for this thing. Go ahead and visit Fan Expo Boston in 2026, because regardless of how I get there or why I'm there, I will be there. This was an event that was just really fun, really exciting. It was worth the hype. The vibes were just really cool, like I said. The panels were really cool. I didn't feel like outside Hayden Christensen, which his line is always ridiculous, I felt like everything was manageable. There was times where like there was barely no one in John Boyega's line, and his line was still long. Don't get me wrong, but like he was very accessible. Like it wasn't like Hayden Christensen where it's like, bro, you're gonna be in line. Oh, like this is an all day dedication. You get there. Giancarlo Esposito. I was able to see him, his line. Like there's moments in law, just kind of pick your moment in law to go to these things, but like to go and enter some of these lines. But man, it was super cool to see that. Very fun, very. It was not impossible to meet and interact and talk to your favorite celebrity, your favorite actor, your favorite voice actor, whatever have you. Like it was, or your favorite artist, or to pick up a lot. There's so much dope ass art at Artist Alley. This was probably the most extensive and fun Artist Alleys I've ever seen. There were so many booths that had so many great figures and video games. There was someone who had a Digivice that I've been looking for about 6-7 years. It was just way too much money for me personally, but it was super cool to still see it anyway. And that's how I knew. That's how I knew this show had everything. When you have a booth that's selling Digimon crests and toys and stuff, that lets me know that this is one of them. This is one of them shows, man. And again, I'm telling you, it's worth the PTO. Plan ahead of time, because the problem about this this convention in general or in particular, is that it does get very pricey because the city of Boston is naturally expensive because of historical landmarks and the tourism and everything. You can be shelling out for the weekend in terms of hotel lodging anywhere between $650 to like $1,200, $1,300. So you definitely don't want to wait last minute for this thing. You definitely want to try to plan as ahead as you can. But if you do happen to start planning or like can't really pay until like closer to the time, definitely stay outside of downtown Boston. Like definitely stay like on the outskirts of Boston, because like we stayed in, I think it was called Waltham or something like that, and it was a lot more affordable. It wasn't the cheapest, but it was a lot more affordable than like $650 to $1,200, which is what the going price was for like hotels within the convention center vicinity. And where I was staying was an amazing hotel. It was a Westin hotel. Had free sparkling water and shit. It was an amazing experience. And it was about 27 or so minutes. That was like 25 to 27 minutes away from the convention center driving. So it wasn't anything crazy. We even went and did a tour of Fenway Park before the convention started on Saturday. That was fun. So there were so many fun experiences, so many cool things to do and see. The weather wasn't anything crazy. Like it was hot. Like there was some summer heat, but it wasn't anything like super crazy. So we're very fortunate that was like storming or raining or anything like monsooning or anything crazy like that. So it was just a great time. Great time. Highly recommend. So now it's your turn. Let me know in the comment section below. Have you been to Fan Expo Boston in the past, or were you there this weekend? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts of conventions in general. In fact, if you've been to a couple, give me your top convention or top three. I would love to hear it. See you on the next one. Peace.